Hi, welcome back. It's Here First from IPR News. I'm Megan McKinney. Chris Jones, the Democrat running for Secretary of Agriculture, shared his plan for clean water in Iowa, and a Northwest Iowa community has rejected a data center moratorium. It's Monday, August 24th. President Trump has announced he'll allow countries to import more beef into the U.S. for 90 days without triggering a higher tariff, a decision that has drawn a strong reaction from Iowa cattle producers. Trump says he's negotiated a deal to make ground beef more affordable for consumers. The group that represents cattlemen say the U.S. is already importing beef at record levels. Plus, Trump's announcement is pushing cattle prices down during a 2-month dip in the cattle market. Brian Whaley leads the Iowa Cattlemen's Association.
Obviously, our association is really extremely disappointed that you're going to take and try to work out a deal that's going to lower beef prices and really make an impact. And they're going to buy that product instead of buying ground beef that's produced here in the United States.
U.S. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins said Friday at the Iowa State Fair the move is part of the administration's push to lower grocery prices and will address the tight supply of beef. It was made worse by closing the southern border to 1 million Mexican cattle due to fears about a flesh-eating parasite called the New World screwworm. Chris Jones says Iowa needs to move away from a 2-crop system and Band-Aid conservation to improve its water quality. The retired research scientist is running as a Democratic candidate for Secretary of Agriculture. IPR's Rachel Kramer reports.
Jones laid out his vision for agriculture and rural communities at the Des Moines Register Political Soapbox at the State Fair Saturday. It includes more diverse farms with small grains, orchards, and pasture for grass-fed cattle.
Let's try to diversify our farms. Again, that's the most important thing I can tell you, is that's what we need. We need a diversity of crops. We need a diversity of economy, and we need a diversity of people in rural Iowa working on agriculture.
Jones has also called for more regulations, like a moratorium on additional agricultural drainage tile unless the outlet is mitigated for pollution at the landowner's expense. Mike Naig, the incumbent Republican Secretary of Ag, has said more regulations will diminish agriculture in the state. The candidates face off at the ballot box November 3rd. I'm Rachel Kramer, IPR News.
More from the soapbox. Libertarian Jake Hurd says he hopes to give voters in Iowa's 3rd congressional district a third option in November, but first he has to make it on the ballot. The criminal defense attorney from Urbandale was recently nominated by the Libertarian Party as a replacement candidate, but the substitution was rejected by the Secretary of State's office over its timing. Speaking at the soapbox at the State Fair, Hurd said blocking third-party candidates prevents wider conversations on policy.
It shouldn't be that tough to let the people of Iowa choose. If Republicans believe their policy ideas win the day, then they should be able to face any challenger on the ballot.
A Polk County judge will decide this week on ballot access for both Hurd and the Libertarian ticket for governor. A small Northwest Iowa City Council at the center of a data center debate has said no to a 1-year moratorium. Salix annexed 900 acres of farmland south of Sioux City for a potential project involving MidAmerican Energy and Google. Even though several people at last week's meeting voiced support for a moratorium, the measure failed on a 3-2 vote. Councilmember Denise Burkhart voted against the moratorium.
We need to open conversations with Google to see what they want to bring here, what they're capable to do for our community. And it may not be right for us, but we're not going to know until we ask the questions.
Another council member says he believes the moratorium was already approved last month and that the council was only supposed to vote on its language. You're listening to Hear First from IPR News. I'm Megan McKinney. Hey, thanks for listening today. I went to the state fair over the weekend and I ate a lot of different food. I gotta say, my favorite thing is that pickled dog. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to learn how to make that at home. I hope you had a great weekend. Talk to you tomorrow.